Guys, welcome to the Wednesday Cardone University Mastermind. My name is Steve Spray. I am coming to you live from the 305. Man, let me scooch over a little bit here. There we go. Dang. What's up, guys? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, if you're coming in, if you're brand new, welcome. It's very nice to have you here with everyone else. Look, the reason why we have this mastermind is for everybody who's on the Grant Cardone University, anybody who's on the certification programs. We come here every single Wednesday. We grab a topic. We'll pick something from the program. We talk about it. We expand on the topic. And most importantly, I take your phone calls. So if you want to call in today, okay, get ready. That number right there, it's 305-865-8668. That's the number. So call in. We're going to be taking questions. I want to hear from you. I want to find out how I can help you out here with the Cardone University Mastermind. So we got a lot going on, man, big. We got a real bit, 44 days. So if you're taking notes right now, 44 days until the 10X Business Bootcamp in Miami. We just authorized today packages for team packages. Man, this is something that, you know, you've always wanted to say, hey, you know what, I want to be a part of that business boot camp, the special one, the one where like the companies come together, they do a deep dive into business. I mean, this is a huge learning experience at the business boot camp. So we've got deals active right now. We'd love to help you out with it. Call the office. Go check out the website, grantcardonebootcamp.com, and we would love to have you there. So this week we will be talking about hard questions, okay? Hard questions. So guys, when we talk about hard questions, what happens is these are just questions that are going to help get the real answer. So a lot of times what happens in a deal is the deal's all stalled out, you know, and something's not going on with the deal, man. It's not closing. You're trying to figure out, like, hey man, why is the deal not closing? They said that they were ready to go. They said they liked it. They said they liked me. They said they liked the company, but man, maybe they went dark on you. Maybe they're not even following up. They're not answering your emails. You're in mystery trying to find out, hey, what's happening? Okay, so what I want to do is I want to, number one, try to eliminate that from happening. Number two, I want you to know what you need to ask going back in. Hard questions are designed to get you the real answer. Because a lot of times you're going to get objections, and really those objections, if you're taking notes, those objections are only going to come from four things. They're going to come from price, time, stall, or the product. Price, time, stall, or the product. Okay, so if you've got any of those objections, man, what questions are you going to ask? Try to get the ball down the field, okay? So what I want to do is I want to go back and I want to first look at like what an exchange is. So just know that an exchange, okay, I wrote it down here in my notes. It says, when you want something someone else has more than you want what you have. So that'd be like time for money. You know, so like I have money and you're going to mow my lawn. And so I want to give you the money because I don't want to spend that time mowing my lawn. Maybe I don't even have a lawnmower, right? You're a gym owner. And dude, I need to work out. I need my body right, but I don't have weights. I don't have the facility. I don't have the time. I don't have the energy. I don't have time to go to school to learn everything about meal plans. So I pay you as a trainer to help me out, right? So there's an exchange somewhere. What happens is you cannot ever help the customer until you get an exchange. You could have the best freaking products on the planet. Okay, you could sell the best shampoo on the planet, and guess what? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter unless they're using it. Doesn't matter unless you make the exchange, okay? So if they're not doing that, then you don't have an exchange and you can't help them out. And so that's what we're talking about today. So I want you to take notes. If you're taking notes, I want you to write this down. You guys good? Lines are blowing up today, man. They're on fire right now. I love that. Woo! Love it, okay? This is going to be good. But I want you guys to get some notes. So write this down. If you're at home, write this part down. Deals are done when problems are solved. Deals are done when problems are solved. This is going to help you. Okay, so I know you're like, oh yeah, no, I know that. No, write this down. Deals are done when problems are solved, because what happens is when you're in the deal, you get stuck on price, time, stall, oh, it's too much money, blah, 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 and then you try to like chase after this thing forever. And I'm going to give you some things to try to get past that today. Okay, so ways to make it a lot easier for you. Okay, so if deals don't ever happen, right, unless a problem is solved, then go back to the problem. Get off the sticking points. Get off the price. Get off the time, right? Get off that stuff. Get off the sticky things and go back to the actual problem that it solves. Okay, so one example that I want to give you, and this is a really great thing. This close particularly, and I'm going to show you where to find this actually. So Francisco, if you just drop in the, if you guys are looking at the screen right now, if you're an individual, your screen will look like this. I never show this. I always show the corporate company account. So for some of you who are in the individuals, your programs are going to look like this. Up at the top, if you scroll over, you're going to see advanced negotiations. Advanced sales and negotiations. So we're going to go in here. We're going to go in here. And if you're on the company corporate account, you have this too. It's in the Cardone exclusives. But for today, I want to go into the negotiating and closing masterclass. So if you click inside there, all of these advanced closes are going to be found inside this part of the program. And this is negotiating. Again, so negotiating. What we're talking about right now, the one I'm giving you right now is number 3. It's the Back to the Future negotiation. Okay? So the Back to the Future, the way the Back to the Future works is, dude, I want to take them all the way to the future. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to say, hey, okay, good, the price is too high. I get that. We'll work it out. Okay, so assuming we take care of the price for you, we handle it, and we solve that, and that's not an issue. Okay, what happens 3 months from now? 3 months from now, you're on my product, you're on my program, your people are training every single day. That's 90 days of training. Every single day, your people are in my sales gym doing push-ups, they're working out, they're getting stronger, their awareness, their sales awareness is getting better. What type of problem does that solve for you 90 days from now? Okay, I want to open that up because what happens is now I got them thinking about the future of what this thing actually does. They're like, oh, well, man, you know, if this thing's half as good as you guys say it is, my sales are going to be through the roof. Maybe you're a gym owner and you ask them that. Oh, price is too high? I can get a better deal at LA Fitness? Good. I love that. Assuming we can do that exact same deal, okay? Let's just talk about this. 3 months from now, you're working with our trainers, okay? The ones that are specialized in handling exactly what you want. You're working with them every single day. You're coming here 5 times a week. You got the meal plans every single week. 90 days from now, what problems does that solve for you? You know, I mean, I could probably get down 2 sizes in 90 days. I could probably gain some muscle. I could build it up. Exactly. And that's why the price is exactly what it is. Okay, let's get this done. That's what you're here for, right? So you want to take them all the way to the future. Get off the sticking points. So if you're taking notes right now, deals only get done when the problem is solved. So get off the sticky stuff, right? I'm gonna take some callers. We got. I can see these guys are. It's just blowing up over here. Okay, let me tell you. I got a ton of good stuff for you guys today. Okay. Deborah. I kept Deborah on too long. That's my fault, not yours. I apologize. Daniel, what's happening, buddy?
Hey, Steve. How are you?
Man, I'm doing incredible. I'm doing incredible, man. Are you? What type of business are you in?
I have a business that offers both nutrition coaching and private fitness training. My man.
How you doing this week?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Dude, it's going great. What problems can I solve for you this week?
Yeah. So I've never really done cold calling, and I've really never even thought about doing that for my business until studying Grant's programs. And I have access to Cardone University now in full. I'm part of the ambassador program, and so I have access to the tools and training on that. The one question I have about it, if I decide to go down the route of cold calling, is I wouldn't know who to call.
Yeah.
So I'm curious if the program, either the program or you yourself, know some resources that I could look into that would be a good place to get some lists of people to call, bearing in mind that I'm trying to speak to individuals, not company.
Yeah.
That's my main question.
Yeah, great question, man. I love that. So first of all, dude, the cold calling, I just want to let you know that I've made so much money cold calling. Like I never could have imagined. You know, so when like people talk about cold calling, they're like, man, I hate cold calling. Did you ask me about that? I'm gonna tell you, there's so much, like I love cold calling. Like it allows me to pick the people that I call. Like I remember back when I was working in, there's a couple jobs that I had where I wasn't doing any cold calling whatsoever. And I was just the effect of the advertising from the business. So the only thing I got, I couldn't control what I got. And so this is cool that you're breaching into this area, because now, man, you can start to choose who you want to do business with. So if you're going to train people and you're going to have those plans, what I would look at is, number one, I would just write down like, who's your ideal client? Like map that person out, just like you would your goals or like your dream board, or like, hey, what I want my life to be. Like, what do you want your client to be? Who is it? You know, so for some people, they've got a sweet spot of like, you know, like maybe, you know, 18-year-olds are not your sweet spot. You know, maybe your sweet spots are like, hey, you know, 29 to like 45-year-olds. Like that's my sweet spot. So I'm going to write that down. I'm going to start like, hey, I'm going to map it out. Like, what does this person look like? So then I'm going to start, because I'm going to work this into my pitch. And the first place that I would call is, I wouldn't do as much of a cold call as I would try to look for, I would call my warm power base first, to number one, establish, like, you know, to make awareness that, hey, this is what I'm doing. If you didn't know, I just want to let you know, like, you're my cousin. We haven't talked in a long time, and, you know, type of thing. Maybe it could be like a coworker. Like, I'm going to make a list of all the people that I know, and I'm going to make the warm call just as, hey, here's what I'm doing now. Wanted you to know about it. Hey, by the way, the clients that I have that do the best, they look like this. You know anybody who would fit that profile? And I would just kind of maybe give them the rundown and try to get something from some of the warm leads that I have, like the people that know me, the people that when I call up and I'm like, hey, what's up? It's Steve. They're like, Steve, how you doing? You know, that way I don't have to like spend the time doing the pitch, right? The 20-second elevator pitch. So I would start there. The next place I would go, if you're going to do something cold, man, I would, again, you can control what you get. I would work on like, how can I get 2 or 3 clients at one time? That's what I would do if I was in your shoes, right? Because you trade your time for money. So I don't want to spend all my time cold calling if your money comes in the actual sale and you training somebody. So what I might start doing is calling businesses that are local. I would start looking out and say, hey, you know, I'm trying to reach out. I want to come by. I want to do a presentation. I want to talk to your staff about health, fitness, opportunities. I'm going to provide a plan. Like, you know, not every company is going to let you in the door. Some companies will. So, you know, you may get an opportunity to go in and like talk to like 10 people rather than talking to one. You know what I'm saying? So like separate your time on what you're putting your outflow efforts into, you know, and that way you can try to get some good opportunities coming in. Does that help out? I don't know if he's still on there right now, but yeah, Dan, thanks a lot for calling in, man. That's awesome. So that's what I would do. I mean, Grant would always tell you, like, call people that know you first. Like anytime we have a deal come out, we have a 10X Growth Con event. Guess who's the first people to know about that? All the people in the ambassador program. You guys were all the first ones to get the tickets, right? So like, hey, get this deal. This is, you know us. We're going after this first. We're not making a cold call to sell these products first. When I'm filling up my pipeline, I don't actually cold call first. I call all the people that know me. And sometimes it's my clients. I'm calling up. I'm like, Glenn, what's up, buddy? Dude, how you doing, man? Hey, awesome. Who do you know that I could call today to get a deal from? You know, I don't know, man. Dude, come on, Glenn. How long we known each other? How long we been doing business, man? Give me a name. I just want a name, you know, because I can kind of grind on him a little bit because he's my buddy. And maybe he gives me like 3 or 4 names that makes it warm. It warms it up, you know. So that's what I would focus on first. And then, you know, but the cold calling's cool too because you can pick. Yeah, go ahead and send me through.
All right.
Phones are blowing up right now.
All right, you got Caroline from Houston, Texas.
Caroline from Houston, Texas. How you doing?
Hi there. Doing great.
Excellent. What can I help you out with this week?
Oh, I'm calling in because, so I just joined, the program and all, and trying to get clarity on lead generation.
Oh, cool. How are you getting leads right now?
I've been trying with Facebook ads. It's been very expensive and not that successful. So
Yeah.
I was wondering, like, what other channels or avenues that you would recommend.
Yeah, great question. What type of business do you have?
So it's a retirement planning, like a finance planning business, like help people figure out their retirement plan if they have enough to retire.
Yeah.
And it's not just people in their 50s or 60s. There's some people who are interested who are in their mid-40s as well.
Yeah,
Like
totally.
Yeah, it's basically the idea is to encourage them to take control of their own financial future, understand their numbers, rather than trusting some fidelity consultant to tell them when they can retire.
Yeah, so when, here's what I would do. Again, I would start on my power base.
Okay.
So if you're in the Cardone University training program, there's going to be a program called prospecting that talks about contacting a warm client. I would work those people first, and I would look for opportunities that they may know, because those are always easier to get further down the field with a lead. The other thing is I would go back. How many leads did you get from that the Facebook ads that you ran?
Each day I get 20 leads, meaning 20 clicks to schedule calls or watch my webinar, and then from those, they schedule a strategy call with me. So the conversion from the 20 people that clicked on it.
Yeah, are you able to call those folks that came by?
I don't have my funnel set up that way, but is that a better way to do it, to have them just click the call?
Yeah, if you came into our office and you see the lead conversion from the funnel team versus the lead conversion for the people that are on the phones, you would probably shut your funnels down. And you'd be like, dude, I need to be on the phone. I need to actually be talking to people. Because I would. So if you're an individual and you're putting the money in the funnels, what we do is we do both. That's why we're trying to hit everything. Because they got in the funnel, but I don't know if I don't know if the message I delivered on the webinar totally got through to them.
Right.
And so then what happens to them? They back off, and then they're like, oh no, that's not for me.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? So what I would try to do is I would just start picking up the phones, and I would call them right away. Number one, I would call them before your webinar. I would call up and say, hey, this is Caroline. I'm giving you a call. Thank you so much for joining my webinar. I just wanted to give you a call real quick, find out if you had any questions before the event today or the event this week.
Oh,
I'm going to establish, number one, I'm going to find who's low-hanging fruit. So we're going to call, when we run an event here, every single event that we run, every single person gets a phone call. They get a phone call and we find out, hey, are you a player for the deal that we're going to be running? Here's what we're going to be running. Do you match that? Okay, good. Enjoy the webinar, or excellent. Hey, enjoy the event. It's going to be an incredible, life-changing event. We'll see you there. What happens is this is moving somebody through my own personal business funnel. Because I'm calling them to say, hey, thanks a lot for hitting the website. We're really excited. Did you have any questions before we get started? What may happen is they may be like, hey, you know what? We did have some questions. What is this? And I seen it and I liked it. And now you actually can get into a one-on-one pitch with that person where you have a better opportunity to selling them rather than just being on a webinar. That's contact number one. Contact number two is that they actually showed up to your webinar. Contact number three is, hey, this is Caroline. How'd you like the event? And I'm gonna start fact finding from there. Hey, did you, do I need to get you some more information? What's next for you? Were you not interested? Other than what you didn't like, what did you like? Right? And I'm gonna start working out. Oh, okay, cool. Well, listen, I'm gonna get you some more information. I apologize that you didn't see that. Hey, let me ask you, what was the one thing that you heard that made you click on the link in the first place? This would be a hard question. Hey, why'd you click on the link in the first place? Maybe we didn't cover it on the webinar. And that way I can communicate with people. Communication gets deals done. If you can't communicate with them and figure out hey, what are they thinking, then it's gonna be a tough, you need to be getting a lot more than 20 leads a day. So I think 20 leads a day is excellent. I would just contact them more. Does that help? She's good? All right, thank you so much. Yeah, so that's what I would do, guys. I would reach out and I would start really touch people, get into communication with them. It just raises awareness and the reality of what they think about your deal. They may not know. You don't know. Maybe they were on the webinar, you've seen that they were on the webinar, but maybe they had a baby crying in the background. They had to handle that deal and they missed your webinar and they was oh, okay, cool. I don't even remember what that thing was anyways, and you lost a deal. So what I want to do is I want to get in. I know the lines are loaded right now, but I want to cover what we're talking about today. So if we go back to, you got to know that you got to get the deal done, right? And so what I want to just drive into is really just the questions. I want you guys to be able to write these questions down because I know I'm going to have other callers that we're going to be able to use these with. So the inquisition, or like the hard questions, this is just simply like asking people hard questions. Like, that doesn't mean that I have to be antagonistic about it. Definitely do not need to be rude. Like, I just want to tell you that if you do indeed are rude or like disrespectful or like it just doesn't feel good, that is not going to get you a deal. So I want you to know that that is not what hard questions are. Hard questions is just simply finding out, like, hey, what are you not telling me? You know, so let's go down a couple of these. This would be like an inquisition, it'd be like a little bit of an interrogation type question, right? So number one, the most simple one, have you seen enough to make a decision? Okay, they're either going to say yes or they're going to say no. The one thing that I would be afraid of, which is a really important point that I want you guys to know, is that they're not always going to give you the right like answer. You know, if I ask, hey, have you seen enough to make a decision? Sometimes they just say, yeah, I have. And then nothing happens. And he's like, so we're going to think about it. Like, I didn't really get the answer. And so I need to get the answer, right? I need to find out. Well, excellent. When you say that you have, what does that mean? Does it mean, are you ready to start today? Oh, no, we're not ready to start. I got to talk to John. We got to work this out and blah, 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 right? Like, I want to find out what I don't know yet so that way I can handle it. That's what the hard questions are. So have you seen enough to make a decision? Just make sure that you get an answer and then get the real answer. Like, even if they say no, excellent. What else about my presentation would you need to see in order to make a decision? Well, you know, if you go back to this part, or I had questions about this, and like, that's great because they're still interested. Okay. Also, here's some really good questions. That was like the easiest question that you definitely should be asking. It's really simple. And this is the one that I want you guys to dig into these. Okay. When was the last time you invested this much money? I'm at the gym, you know, I got the gym membership, or like maybe I'm selling, let's do something different. We did that, talk about a couch, man. I'm selling a $1,200 couch to somebody who their house payment's $1,200. You know what I mean? So it's like, whoa, maybe it's a little bit bigger than what we spent before. You know, they're like stepping up. They just got the new home. Now they're going in for the new couch. Hey, when was the last time you spent $1,200? That's what our mortgage is every single month. Excellent. Okay, that wouldn't keep you from buying the product that you want, right? To make sense of the $1,200 you spend every single month. Okay, I want to find out, hey, when was the last time you did this? Because here's why. I want to take them back to the fact that they've done this before. They do it every single month, and dude, they're still here. They're still alive. They're still clicking and ticking. They're still going. Okay, some of the other questions. What happens if you don't do this? It's a great question, man. When I'm pitching people on our program, and you know, they're like, yeah, we've been looking for a product for a long time, and blah, blah, blah. And then we get to the end, they're like, well, we're still thinking about it. Hey, let me ask you, what happens if you don't do this? What happens if you don't do this? Well, you know, we're just going to, you know, we're still going to be looking. I'm like, dude, that's going to cost you more time, more money, which is why you got on the phone with me in the first place. Okay? Let me tell you that it would be the right thing to do this now. Okay? Let's go back, man. I mean, let's actually go to the future right now. Let's just say we handle everything. You guys get started today. 90 days from now, let's say you guys are using the program every single day. Okay, you're using it, you're training with it, your managers are training with it. They don't have to come up with training products and to use with the sales team. Okay, what type of problems does that solve for you 90 days down the road? Okay, I want to put the guy into the future to solve the problem, right? So that's another place to use that. Okay, I'm going to take another caller.
All right, we have Eleanor from Canada.
Eleanor from Canada.
Yes,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing incredible. What can I help you out with today?
Who's this?
My name's Steve.
Oh, aren't you on the show?
You're on the show. We're both on the show.
We are?
We are both on the show right now. Maybe you called in. See, I think because maybe you called in, but you didn't know you were going to be on. Do you have any questions or anything that I can help you out with this week?
Yeah, no. I must be watching an old one. Okay, so yeah, I do. It's a strategy question. So I live in a small town, 42,000 people. Okay?
Okay.
My question is, I'm good on the phone. However, I need results quickly. Do I go start pounding pavement and go see these people face to face?
Well, when you go see him face to face, is that already an appointment that you got set up? Wait, what do you mean? Pounding the pavement or going face to face are similar, right?
Yeah.
So what would be the third option?
Calling them on the phone.
Yeah. So like what I would tell you, and Grant will tell you this too. He says, you know, when it comes to prospecting, like there's nothing better than the face-to-face. Like you have a much higher closing ratio if you're in front of people. You know, the problem with getting in front of people is that I can only see a certain amount of people in one day. You know what I mean? Because I got to drive all the way across town. I got to do this and that. And so it's not that I don't want to do that, because I definitely want to do that. That is one thing that I do want to do. However, on the phone, I can get so much more accomplished. So what happens is you can make the call to set the appointment. That's what I would do. And then I would actually try to pitch them on the phone. And then if they require an appointment, hey, why don't I do this? Why don't I come over there and show you this thing? Why don't I come over there and why don't me and you talk? I can be over there in 30 minutes. I can't do it in 30 minutes. Good. What about on Thursday? Could I come by morning or afternoon? You know, and then maybe set up an appointment. I would try to call over the phone, pitch. Like for me, I can get a lot more deals done. But I definitely go out to see clients because I just have a better shot at closing the deal.
Okay. That answers my question.
Perfect. And what I would do too is there's two parts of the program. Are you on the ambassador program?
Yes.
Yeah. What I would do is I would actually go to, there's prospecting, which is more of a warm type call. That is a warming. Grant's going to tell you, hey, here's what you need to do. Here's how to build the list. Here's who to contact. Here's how to contact them. So that's one strategy. That's like calling people that know you, calling people that you've done business with. That's like calling people that may already do business with you. Like, what does that call look like? That's a little bit different. And then there's the cold call. So I would just separate those two and work a list. Like if you're gonna make a phone call list and you're gonna be like calling like 100 people at one time, I would separate the warm leads from the cold leads, and that way you can like stay in the right rhythm on the phone call. Does that help?
Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks a lot for calling in. I love that.
Thanks.
So, and maybe if you refresh on the live, that'll put you back on the one we're on right now. So.
I'm watching an old one. Like, this is really disappointing. I'm bummed.
It's all right. I apologize.
Okay.
We archive these, so this will be put right back into Cardone University for you, and you just click on the Mastermind, and you can go back in and you can rewatch that.
Okay, so I am in Mastermind. It says Sales Training University, how to ask hard questions in the deal. That's what's sitting in front of me.
There is a little bit of a time lag. What color suit am I wearing?
Oh, I just got rid of you because I figured you were old. You got a white?
A white? No. That was not it.
Oh, there you are. Okay, there is a bit of a lag, yeah.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a lag. So awesome. Well, thanks for calling in. Guys, I had a question from one of our managers it looks like in the auto industry. He said, I'm having extreme trouble with hitting my targets. Our average age of our new cars is over 120 days. So when the cars go on the lot, guys, as a business, you need to get them off the lot. It's like you need to sell the product. Like we get inventory in, we need to sell the inventory. So he's saying, I've had it. My average car is 120 days, and we continue to fall behind month over month. 12 cars new and used. I need a solution. Dude, here's what I would do. Let me just tell you what I would do. Actually, if you click in, so go back to the program. Guys, if you're on Cardone University, you have the follow-up program. This is exactly what I would do. If you click into, if you go down to the follow-up box right there. I'd spend the next 2 weeks focusing on this, particularly with your team. I'd watch the training as a group every single morning. If you have the Cardone On Demand program, you literally have a boot camp strategy set up. It'll tell you, it says, hey, play this video today, discuss these topics right after. What I would do is I would get the awareness up of how valuable this follow-up phone call is. Then Grant's going to teach you how to follow up. He's going to say, hey, here's how to do it, because the phone's not the only way to follow up. Text, email, virtual videos, social media, these are all valuable tools, but if you don't know how to use them, you're not going to do good at it. Then we're going to go into the mistakes with the follow-up. Okay, your people, if they just knew the mistakes, if they just knew what not to do, you know, like when you go to driver's ed and they're like, hey, you see that cone right there? Don't hit it. Okay, that cone represents a person. Okay, what happens when you get on the road? You're like, oh yeah, I can't run into people. Okay, if you just knew what not to do, you would do better at follow-up. Okay, Go through all these. Maybe you watch like 4 to 6 of these every morning with the team. So do it with the team. So that way everybody on the whole team, all their focus is on the follow-up. And then when you go in there, it goes through the advanced strategies. I would call everybody who came into the store over the past year. 2 things. Number 1, I would use the follow-up tool. Use the follow-up tool to go back and actually work those people who know who you are. If I don't have to spend time, like on a phone call, I've got a little bit of time. If I don't have to spend the time explaining who I am, then I'm that much further in the deal. So I'm going to start with people that I know, or I want to start with people that came to our business and didn't buy. Okay? The first thing I would do is a manager call. I'd call up. I'd say, hey, Francisco, this is Steve. I'm calling you from Grant Cardone's office. How are you?
Pretty good.
Excellent, man. I'm glad to be on the phone with you. I know you were talking to my guy, Kelvin. I just wanted to find out, man, what happened? Or I'd call up and I'd say, hey, I know you were talking to my guy, Kelvin. I just wanted to find out how he did. Do the manager call, man. Find out, because maybe that guy liked Kelvin. He was like, dude, Kelvin's the man. They broed out, and like, he's cool, and Kelvin's cool, and everybody's cool in the deal. And then all of a sudden something happened where he's like, oh, dude, I can't tell Kelvin that I actually don't have the money that I said I did. And then what happened was, for whatever reason, he got out of the deal. And then we forgot to follow up, so then we lost the deal. So if you want to increase your sales, I would start with follow-up. That's the one thing that I would do, is I would work all those leads. That's one. I just gave you one strategy out of 25 that are laid out inside that follow-up tool. And then there's another 22 inside the advanced strategies. So you've got, 47 strategies in there. Okay, you go through all those, I guarantee you're gonna come up with some of your own. Okay, and then that way you guys can start getting some of these cars off the lot. Okay, let's go back to a couple hard questions. Another thing that I would want to ask is, so we got a couple more callers. So the other thing that I would ask is, hey, what's the worst that could happen if you do this? You know, like when you get down, like I ask this all the time, you know, and they're like, hey, we're gonna wait on doing this. I'm like, John, listen, man, I know you're gonna wait, and that's fine. You can do that, but look, what's the worst that could happen if you started today? What's the worst thing that would happen if you started today? He's like, well, man, we don't have any managers to kick off the program. I'm like, John, that's why I come with the deal. That's crazy, man. I apologize that you even thought that, man. Hey, listen, this whole thing is going to be hands-off. I'm going to launch the whole program for you. Okay, so find out what your deal is. Like, handle your situation. Just ask them, hey, what's holding you back? What would be the worst-case scenario? Okay, but listen, do not forget to do the second part of this and say, hey, but John, so what's the best-case scenario? Let's say we get this done and handled. Maybe we don't even charge you. What happens if we just started today and got you onto the program? He's like, well, you know, I guess my guys would be training. I'm like, well, how much training did they do today? Well, they didn't do any. I'm like, well, see, there you go, man. I could have your entire team. How many employees do you have again? 40? You got 40 employees. I could have all of them working out in my sales gym today, man. By tomorrow, they'd have bulked up biceps ready to roll, man, ready to hit the phones and talk to your customers. Okay, so what's the worst thing that could happen? And then, wait, what's the best thing that could happen? Oh, sales go up. Man, that's why you got on the call with me in the first place. Okay, so use these things because they're really simple. It's to get them off those sticky points like, man, too much time, or man, I don't know if we can do this, man, or like, I don't know if this is right for me right now. Go back to solving the problem. So and then you can go in, so these are deep. Then you could go back into like, hey man, what's the worst decision you've ever made? What is the worst decision you have ever made? Okay, take them back, man. Take them back and just remind them that, dude, in reality, they probably make good decisions all the time. Okay, and them doing business with you would not be the worst decision. In fact, it would probably be the most effective thing for them. That's why you guys are even communicating in the first place. Okay, so remember those. And then I'm going to come back to the last one right here. How would you justify spending $40,000? How do you make sense of that? You know, so like for us, we sell a $40,000 contract. You know, hey, it's 40 grand. Hey, listen, how do you make sense of spending $40,000? Well, I mean, that'd be like 4 sales for us. I'm like, well, John, that's 40 grand over 3 years, man. I mean, I could get you 3 sales this afternoon. If your people had the right information, if they were on my follow-up program, I can get you 3 deals this afternoon, man. Let's get this thing done. I could pay for 3 years of this afternoon. Okay, tomorrow morning, your people are eating Fruit Loops with Grant Cardone. And it is just ROI from here on, okay? What do you say? Let's get this done. Okay, so this is where you guys need to start using this stuff. Like, use this in your business. So I'm going to go over the questions again, but I'm going to take a couple callers.
All right, we got Chris from Tampa, Florida.
Chris from Tampa, Florida. How you doing, sir?
Good. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing incredible. What's happening for you today, and what can I help you out with?
So I have a big meeting tomorrow. It's a large client. They're bringing the whole marketing team to our company, and basically it's going to be a 7-figure deal. I need to figure out how I can ask them what their budget is.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd ask them what their budget is, but I understand why you want to ask that, because you want to find out, like, because you know you can do the deal, right? You just don't know, like when somebody comes to our, let's say somebody walks into our company and they're like, hey, I need help, right? So I know, man, I could sell them one-on-one coaching with Grant Cardone package. I know I could sell them the ambassador program, or I know I could sell them a book or an MP3, you know, but the reality is that I don't want to ask them what their budget is, because, again, people don't buy a budget. They're only meeting with you. They're only meeting with you for one reason. Do you know what that reason is?
So I can solve the problem.
To solve a problem, right? So what I want to find out is, dude, how big is the problem? So the way you could ask it and get the answer and, you know, have a pretty good idea is, you know, hey guys, listen, we all, and so why are they coming in? Like if I'd ask you like, hey, what problem you solving for them? What would be a simple answer to it?
Well, basically we're technology marketing for 25 different buildings, like different new
good.
that are being built.
Guys, we know you're coming in right now today. Thank you for showing up. You're doing the technology marketing with us. We really appreciate that. Before we get started, we want to find out from you, what's the most important thing that you're looking to take away from today's meeting?
Gotcha, that's good.
I'm gonna answer. I know it was good, man. That's why I said it. So then I'm gonna dig into it. So I want to start with that first, guys. Hey, thank you. Make sure they're all in the room. Make sure everybody's present. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, guys, how are you? How's it going? Okay. Can you guys hear me okay? Right? Because you might be in a room. You just want to make sure, like, dude, you want to ask those questions. Okay. Make sure everybody's in there. Excellent. Thank you for our time. I'm going to provide you with a presentation of our product and our services here. Before we get started, what's going to be the most important thing that you're looking to gain from today's meeting? And then they're going to tell you, well, you know, we're here to see your technology products. Excellent, excellent. And so obviously that's going to provide you with mass marketing for all 25 of your buildings. We're going to be able to get this out there. We're going to get it in front of the right people. This is what we specialize in. So are you doing anything right now to actually market those, right? I'm going to start digging into the what, the whys, and the hows. And I need to figure out, like, hey, what problem? Like, because there's really only going to be like a couple problems that we could solve for them, and it'll probably come down to one where, like, boom, it's going to make sense, and then you're going to present to that whole thing. See how that works?
Gotcha.
Okay,
Because what's going to happen is we're going to go over everything, and then I'm going to come back with a proposal, probably meet with them the following week, present the proposal, go through everything, because it's a huge project. It's like probably take about a year and a half to finish. But so we're doing that, though. I don't want to come in at, like, you know, like, say, $6 million, and they're like, oh, we're looking at a budget of 3 or 4, and try to get something that's less or cheaper than not the same exact quality or whatever as us. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to find the right way to make sure that I'm not overshooting.
Yeah, that's where when you do the proposal, you provide the different options. So, you know, like we always come in at like a lower proposal. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I can, you know, when you call my office up, hey, we got books, man. You can buy a book for $12. You can read it like a bedtime story to your entire sales team. Okay, it costs you $12. Okay. Now the other packages that I have start at $5,000 per person, or we've got our group program, man. We train your whole team for like $40,000 for 3 years. He's like, no, yeah, that's definitely the package we want. Okay, good. You know, so like we provide different options. That way we can find out, and if they are, because you're not the only person they're taking a meeting with, they're definitely taking other meetings. What happens is I don't want to be one card in that deck, man. I want to have a lot of cards, or basically I want to have, like, when they draw names out of the hat, man, I have like more opportunities in there, you know. So maybe I give them 3 different proposals, 3 different you know, sets of services. Maybe you give them like 9 different proposals. You'll see us do that a lot. I mean, if you know, sometimes we'll just start with 4 different opportunities, you know, because the term changes. And then what happens if we're not getting it back, man, I'll send them out 4 different ones. You know, added service, like a one, you know, if 6 million was the highest that I sent out, I'll send them one for 12 million. And then I'll also send them one for 600 grand. You know, I want to find out, like, dude, where you at on the deal? You know? So hopefully that helped out, my man. Next caller. Yeah, let me know how that deal goes, by the way.
All right, so we got Romeo from Dallas, Texas.
Romeo from Dallas, Texas. How you doing?
Doing good, man. How are you?
Unbelievable, unbelievable, man. What can I help you out with today?
Yeah, man. I'm out here in Dallas, and I do industrial sales. I sell like different epoxies, and it's just me and my mentor, a guy who helped me get my own LLC. So I do a combination of cold calling, and I just get out there and beat the pavement. So my question really was, you know, whenever I don't start seeing a lot of luck on the phones or people don't want to commit to an appointment, I pretty much just get aggressive and go and try to meet them in person with or without an appointment. So I guess my question was, how aggressive can I be when I'm in their place of business? Not exactly expected, but I know that they're using what I need.
Yeah, I mean, I do this.
Sell.
Yeah, I do it. I mean, you know, as long as the aggressive is not weird, you know, like there would be, like, if it doesn't feel good, it's not going to work. You know, if it's a persistent professional, like I'd spend a lot of time in the follow-up training because Grant's going to talk to you about, you know, hey, how to get attention, or really the cold call program. I would do the cold call program first and then the follow-up, because what will happen is, dude, you're trying to sell them on attention, right? You're trying to get their attention. Sometimes you can get their attention in the wrong way, and then it's like, oh, I don't like that.
Yeah.
You know, so like, that doesn't mean that showing up without an appointment's the wrong way. That could actually be one of the right ways, man. That could actually be that, like, hey, this guy's serious. But you just want to do things like persistently and professionally. You got to have both those in, you know, which means you need to dress right, you need to talk right, you need to smile, you need to have a good attitude, like it needs to feel good. You know, like when you walk into somebody's office and the receptionist calls back and they're like, hey, we've got Romeo out here. I think he's been trying to reach out to you. That might be a little bit different than, hey, we got that Romeo guy out here, call security, right? Because like you didn't show up right. You know what I mean? Like that would be a bad way. And like, and dude, we have those people that come in here. You know what I mean? Like, and some people come in and do it the right way. Some people come in and definitely do it the wrong way. So, you know, do advance, start covering them up. Emails, messages, just make sure that they know why you're reaching out to them. And have something that's sticky. So like, what's interesting about what you do?
Yeah, and basically what I try to sell them on is I have what they need kind of like in the trunk of my car kind of thing. That's one thing, and like my availability, and I don't have as much overhead as my competitors. Yeah. So I'm trying to sell them more on convenience because, you know, a lot of things nowadays are convenience-based, I think. So I'm trying to make them aware that I'm easy to work with, but
are they already buying your products now?
They buy similar ones, yeah, and they buy my competitors' products. And I've already closed a few deals, just cold knocking, and but I just want to know for my close ratio to be a lot better, how I can just bring that value that I'm their guy who's going to take care of them like no one else.
Yeah. So if the price is the same and the products are similar, which in a lot of cases a lot of people run into this. Like you got to figure out like what's your angle, like what does your competition not do? What are they not willing to do? One thing that they may not be willing to do is actually go into the office and actually present it to them. So like that could set you apart. So that could be a positive thing. The fact that you have it available in your trunk, man, dude, like my marketing would be based around time. So I would take a picture with me, my car, in my trunk, and like maybe even like acting like I'm handing somebody something. You know what I mean? Or like I don't know what you're selling, man. It's So what?
Epoxies.
Oh, epoxies. Yeah, exactly. Okay. And where do they use the epoxies at? On the job sites, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So here's what I would do, man. I would take a picture of me out getting a client on the job, the epoxy out of my trunk, man, to say, hey, John, I've been reaching out to you. I know I haven't got your attention yet, but I just wanted to let you know that I do this all week long for all my clients, man. If you ever need a guy and you're on the job and you need it right away, let me know. I want to help you out. Okay? That way I'm like hitting them from different angles, and I'm not just, you know, John, give me your time. John, give me your time. John, give me your time. Because, like, dude, that just, you know what I mean? Like, they don't like that, where I'm like, you know, we're like, I'm a guy who, like, can actually solve a problem for him, you know?
Yeah.
So some of my, like, I might even, like, leave him a message. John, listen, man, I was out cruising around. You know, I didn't know if any of your guys needed a fresh case of epoxy today, but I'm here. I'll be willing to go to any job site. Let me know, man. I can't wait to connect with you. Okay, and like that's one message. I'm gonna leave a total different message another time. You know, so like I don't know where I'm gonna hit them. Okay, so dude, great calling in, man. That's awesome.
Thanks.
Yep, you got it. So guys, listen, every week we come here and we do this mastermind. So if you see all the different people that were on this week, look, everybody's coming together because we all care about one thing: increasing sales and helping more people with our products. So my boy with the epoxy right there, dude, he's helping people, but they don't know it yet, right? So you need sales. Sales is the only way that's going to get you in there. You got to be able to sell. You got to be able to get attention. You got to be able to close the deal. Okay, and when it comes to closing deals, hard questions. So I just want to do a quick recap of everything that we covered. So if you're taking notes, you would want to write this one down. Deals are done when problems are solved. You should get that tattooed right here. That way anytime you're having a problem, you look down and be like, oh, dude, I've been talking about the wrong freaking thing the whole time. Okay? Deals only get done when problems are solved. So get off the sticking points. Okay? So if you're taking notes, write this down. Get off the sticking points. Okay? Guy's grinding you on price. He's like, I can get a better deal down the street. I love that, man. That's good. Dude, what if the price were the same from both of us? What if we had the exact same price as them? Who would you rather do business with? Well, I'd rather do it with you. Why is that? You guys are closer. You guys deliver, right? Like, I'm going to get them off the actual sticking point. I'm going to get them back onto, dude, I got the delivery service, man. I dropped the epoxy off for you. I deliver it to your guy. He doesn't even have to walk out, man. I'll deliver it to him in the home. I'll put it in his hand. I'll freaking massage his hand. I'll rub some lotion on his fingers before he puts the epoxy on, man. That's the type of business that I do. Okay, I'm gonna get him off the sticking stuff and put it right on the problem solving. Okay, what I want to do is I want to go down and I want to use this. Let's assume that all of this is handled. Just for a second. For 1 second, let's assume that all of this is handled. Okay, let's assume that you signed up. You're using the program every day, and it's 90 days later. What problems did I solve for you? Okay, this is called Back to the Future. I'm going to take the guy to the future. Okay, hey, let's just say that I didn't have to show you my program, and you knew that your people were training every day on Grant Cardone training. Okay, we got the deal done. The prices, the figures, we all agreed on that. We got it done. It was perfect. It was beautiful. Okay, best deal in history. Okay, but it's 90 days from now, and your people have been training every single day. Okay, what problems did I solve for you with your people training every single day on Grant Cardone training? Okay, and then I want to like figure out, because that is going to get the guy off that little sticky part of like, hey man, it's too much money. But he's probably sport negotiate anyways, you know what I mean? So then I'm going to go down to a couple questions. Have you seen enough to make a decision? When was the last time you invested this much money? Okay, what happens if you don't do this? What's the worst that could happen if you do this? What's the worst that could happen if you don't do this? Okay, remember, you got to go both ways on that. Okay, when was the last time you made when was the last time that you made a bad decision? Okay, I'd also want to ask, hey, when was the last time you made a good decision? Okay, like you don't know what you're going to get with this. See, you make good decisions all the time, man. Let's do this. Okay, what is the worst decision you've ever made? That's a good question to ask, man. You get people out of the sticky stuff, right? And then, how would you justify spending this much money? How would you justify this? Okay, remember what the justify is. It's making sense of it, right? So if let's just say I sell an $8,000 mattress. Okay, an $8,000 mattress. I'm literally taking the guy from last mattress he bought was $2,000. Now I got him on an $8,000 one. It's a big jump, right? And he's like, dude, this is crazy. I'm like, yeah, I know, man. How would you make sense of it? It's like, well, I would get better sleep. I love that, man. Every single day of the year, you'd get that. okay, for 365 days a year, but you're probably going to have this thing for 2 years, so probably for the next 740, whatever that is, whatever the math is, 730 days. So you're going to get that every single night, okay? But what's that do for you and your production throughout the day? Well, I'm always on my feet. Good, okay? Make you feel better, make you work better, make you live better, okay? What happens when you produce more at the office? I make more money. Exactly, okay? This is an investment in you, in your life, in your happiness, okay? It's going to increase your paycheck, okay? It's $8,000, man. How do you make sense of that? He's like, well, I mean, dude, if I just got a good night's sleep, I could probably make sense of that in 1 month, okay? Just by showing up to the office with a good attitude, right? So you need to like take them back to find out, hey man, how do you make sense of this deal? Okay, so guys, this is the type of stuff we cover every single week. Appreciate you being here, okay? We've got some big events coming up. We've got 10X GrowthCon coming up in February, but before that, we're doing in 44 days, we have a 10X boot camp. This is a business boot camp. If you ever wanted to come out to the business boot camp, you need to be at this one. This one's going to be a 3-day event with Grant Cardone. I've got a workbook right here. It's this thick to go through for your business alone. There's going to be coaches there. I'm going to be there. Jared Glant's going to be there. Todd's going to be there. Mike Bonnett's going to be there. The entire team, the guys who are in here doing the stuff every single day, we will be there to help you out. And if you go check out some of the testimonials from the people at the business boot camp, man, you just see that it's a life changer, man. It's a business changer. I mean, people going from making 30 grand a year to 400 grand a year. You know, businesses going from 2 million a year to 30 million, like, you know, over the course of the plan that we mapped out for them. So you're going to leave there with a plan. Okay, so guys, thanks a lot for showing up every Wednesday. I'm going to see you back here next Wednesday on the Cardone University Mastermind.